Hi friends, good morning. This request of mine is to give. This request of mine is for Divijit Chavan sir. That he came with what love, with what heart, and he was all excited to help us. He came with a dream that he would make us his family, and we would be his family. Sir, I want to know who has spoiled your mind, who has distracted your mind not to help us, which person has put the wrong comments to you, saying that we are not good. We want to know, sir. See, sir, I'm also from birth gone to a very tough time, saying very bad days, hard days. Easily, I didn't grow up. I saw one video in the morning. At 3, I get up for my prayers. So I was just crossing the YouTube. I saw your video. You spoke very nicely about about the husbands troubling their wives, getting them in the house, not doing good to them, asking dowry from their parents. Lot that video I've seen of yours. I felt very nice looking at the video. And I've seen many people appreciating you, liking you, saying you're a very good person. You know, my owners also where I worked before. You think Divijit Chavan is a very nice person. How he did that to you all? So I heard very good things about you. But in our place, when you had to come to help us, who has distracted your mind? You got a current. You know what's current, no? You got current after you came and went back. Current means shock. So you got a shock. You see, when you open the switch of the light, you put it for the board and you get a shock. That current came for you, not to help us. Or somebody pressurized you and don't help us. I want to know, sir. We are very upset about this. Our mind is completely, we don't get sleep at night. We are all tensed. See, sir, we are so tensed with our problems. Mr. Praveen Gosala, you're from Madgaon, no? You must have heard about him. Mr. Praveen Gosala, 18 years I worked in that house. He ate my money. Then one neighbor here also who to fill our money. Anita Saldana, Anthony Saldana. They used to fill my money and give it to some agent. No sign of it. They've disappeared. Like robbers, they went to London even without informing me that they're going to go to London and giving me something in my hand, knowing that I was in deep trouble with my knees. So as you took out this video about many men when they get married to these women and get them in the house and trouble them, I was going to tell you my story also. See, sir, how I became an orphan and how I became poor today in this all this situation. It is my father was a very rich person, very rich. He had a mines of gold. Praveen Gosalia has a mines in Betul of aluminium. He had a mines of gold. Very rich person. He had a very big bungalow. Whatever he wanted, he would, because his parents were richer than him. So when he was a childhood, whatever he wanted, like his parents would bring and give him. If he wanted a goda, he would get a goda. That rich my father was. But the situation now you'll think why I'm telling you all this. The situation thing is that my mother was very poor from a poor village. Like how you go to help poor people, no. And she was very beautiful. She was so beautiful. I'm nothing in front of her. I'm a slippers, chappal in front of her. So beautiful, and she was not educated. They couldn't afford to educate their daughter. So poor family from a village. And she was a Muslim, and my father was a Brahmin Hindu, very rich. And she used to go in their office. She was an assistant, means like uh, my father's assistant. Like she was, he kept her for work. He kept her for work, and as an assistant, go and get this file. Go and make tea for the staffs. Go and give this file to that person. Let it this supervisor, means helper, like she was assistant, a very good assistant. Slowly, he fell in love with her because her nature was so good. He liked her. He liked her nature. Because the nature and looks, fell in love with her. And then he told her, "You marry me." She got frightened. She said, "I'm not marrying you. You're such a rich person. What tomorrow if you trouble me because I'm poor?" He said, "No. It's I promise. I'll do good to you." And in the end, what he did, and then afterwards, he told her, "When you get married, first thing I want you to give me a son. Then you have daughters, it's okay. But son, keep this promise." But she said, "I can't give you a promise because it's all God's gift. How can I give you a promise? I will pray for it to happen that way." And as soon as they got married, they went, they prayed, everything happened. And then afterwards, they got married. After getting married, what happened to her? She got a daughter. And then because she got a daughter, he was so upset about her. He didn't want her in the house. He was troubling her. He was ill treating her. He was beating her. And he made her to abort the child and remove it. Then she aborted the child. She removed it with pain, crying, screaming. And then second time again, she got twin daughters. That was me and my sister. My sister is in Belgaum. She's a dentist now. I'll tell you how it happened also. And then afterwards, twin children. She was pregnant the second time, girls only, no boys. My father got so angry on her. He beat her in such a way. And he told her, "You have to divorce me right now. I don't want you. Get out of my house. You're a Ponvati. You're a curse in my house. I told you that I want sons. You gave me daughters. I don't want daughters. I want sons for my business." Because he had a very big business. He was running his business. He could easily think, he was such a cruel man, he could easily think in his mind that daughters also today run business. But who knows what type of mind he had. And she never knew what to do. She had to leave him and go. And in our village, it's in the Belgaum village, it is so strict that married girls are not supposed to come back to the parents' house by leaving their husbands and coming. The neighbors and I make fun of them, they curse them, they throw stones on them. She didn't know what to do. She ran very far, far, far. She went to suicide. She didn't want her life. And when she went to suicide, her brother, they were only one, in a poor family, there were only one brother, one sister. Brother, sister, they didn't have any more sisters and brothers around. That brother's friend was sitting there and they were both, husband and wife were sitting and they were talking something. And then suddenly they saw her going and suiciding. So they went and they pulled her out. They called her. What happened to you? Why are you suiciding? Where's your husband? How you reached this side? Then she cried and cried and cried. She said, "I want to die. I want to die. I don't want to live. What I'll do with these two children in my stomach? It's a shame for me to go to my village now." Then they took her to the house. They kept her for some few days. They samjhawed her. They explained her, "Baba, don't do like that. We are there for you. We'll take care of you. Then nobody will say anything to you." Then they rang up her brother. Means they ring up the name. There were no phones and now. They they ran to her brother. They kept her in the house with the family. Ran to her brother. Means my mama, my mother's brother. Ran to him and told him that your sister went to suicide. We saved her. And then the brother told, "Don't worry, I'll keep you with me." Because he also was a married brother. Two times he's lost his child. His wife also got married to an accident and lost a child. And doctor said she will not have children anymore. So they also were looking out related to abort children to give to make for their family. Her brother, my mother's brother. So then afterwards, her brother told my mother, "Don't worry, you come to my house, I'll keep you. Nobody let anybody say anything. They are not looking after you. They are not taking care of you. I'm taking care of you. Come." And then my brother took care of her, paid for her delivery, took care of me and my sister when we were babies, so born, small, innocent children. We didn't even get to see our father. Mother also that time go to see. We were too small that time. Then afterwards, my brother, my mother's brother told they were very poor, no? They also were poor. They also couldn't afford. He didn't have a good job and just temporary job. So he told, "Two daughters now I won't be able to take care of. What you do now? One daughter will go and live in the Divine Providence Convent, orphanage, and one daughter I'll keep with me. I will grow her up nicely. I will take care of her. I will give her education, everything. Even if I can't, I'll beg somewhere and I'll take care of her." So this was his promise, the brother's promise. So then after one daughter he kept with him, and one daughter is me. They took me to the old orphanage. There were sisters and over there. And the sisters asked my mother, along with my mother, the brother also came. The brothers explained the sister, "Please keep. Husband didn't want daughter, wanted son, and he threw her out of the house. Didn't want her back. Sent the divorce papers, So the sisters were all upset after seeing or hearing all this. They said, "So beautiful girls, so beautiful children." And I was looking very beautiful when I was small. When I was a baby, plumpy and nice, I was looking. The sisters got shocked after hearing all this. Then the sisters kept me. And my mother Specially told the sisters, give it to a good family, not families who don't take care of children. Good family who doesn't have children at all. This also my mother told the sisters, do not put her in trouble. If she was with me today, I would have taken care of her and loved her. But my love she will not get anymore. Please take care of this baby. And when I was 3 months something, 3 or 4 months, that time I was kept in the orphanage. And then those sisters grew me up. And when I was 3 years old, one rich lady came to take me. Annette Pereira, who has childcare primary school. I want a child for adoption. Actually, she's come in the market to take a child. And told the sisters lies, I don't have children. My husband is beating me every day, no children. And told lies, registered me in her name. Everything did whatever she had to do. Told lies to the sisters and took me. But she did not expect that the sisters will come for inspection every six months. The sisters came for the first inspection, and they saw me kept all dirty over there with one maid, and the boy sitting in the gallery. So the sisters asked that maid, "Who's that boy who's sitting in the gallery?" It was very shocking when they came to know. It is Annette Pereira's son. They got a shock. They didn't know what to do. Now, whether to take me back or what to do. Then they waited till she came. She was teaching the SSC children in presentation school. Then she came. Then she got a shock seeing them. Then she fought with them. Told them, "You all go. You all go. I've already brought this child for me. You all cannot take this." And fighting she did. Drove them away. Drove them away. Made police case and I drove them away. Lot of complaints. Lot of long false statements did and drove them away. Then I lived with her. Lived with her. Then because they are coming every night and for trying to take me away, then went to Monte Cruz where Monte Cruz stays. They they said she went to stay. Where next to Monte Cruz was another house where she opened a child care center school something. Child care center something, a big school. There we were staying there before. Brought me there and kept me there. Then there I grew up, grew up, grew up. She never used to show me any love. I used to eat from the kachra bucket. No food. 3 days, for 4 days, no food. Like servants used to make me to clean the house, do this, do that. She never make me educated because her friends told her, don't make her educated. Tomorrow she'll fight for property. Ah, boy, she. I'll fight for property, some. They made me to struggle in the house like maid. And then struggling, I grew in the age of 15. And that is the time I opened my eyes and I lived this family and go. First, when I was the age of 14, I left them. How much she used to beat me. I used to eat the dog's food even. She used to make me cook the dog's food on the firewood. Whatever they eat, they used to never give me. Dog's food, I used to eat hunger. I used to die for hunger. That way I was treated, okay? Sir Divijit Chavan, today my story I'm telling you. And then after what happened? I struggled in the age of 14. I left and I ran away. Where I was running, I don't know. I reached uh, uh, to her student's house only. She was teaching a SSC student. There I reached. The student cried after hearing my story. And her mother told, don't worry, make you my second daughter, I'll keep you with me. And she was doing nice to me, she kept me with her. And I cried and cried and cried. But the student, what she did, she went and told the stepmother, she told, what type of a lady you are? You brought that girl from the orphanage and you troubled her. There, she's staying with my mommy. Mommy's keeping her now. It became shame for her. And by evening, she comes and she takes me away from there. No, don't go. No, I want her. I don't know this, that, and now took me away from her. Okay? And all this story, my grandmother told me. I didn't know about this. My grandmother told me, your Annette Pereira adopted you from the orphanage, Divine Providence Convent. Such a good convent. So good sisters. Cheated them, told lies to them. She doesn't have children. Cheated and brought you. She robbed you from that convent and brought you. Today, if you were in that convent, and the sisters told her also, there's another family, foreigners. They also don't have children at all. They want to take her. They also have booked her. But she said, no, I will give all that love for this child. What she did in the end? She cheated me. Okay? That's why today I'm in trouble like this. I'm going to this pain because of this. No love. No mother's love. No good nutrition, food. Kachra I was eating that time when I was a childhood. That's why today with all my energy is gone. Working for people, struggling. And then in the end, where I reached? Praveen Gosala's house. That also I did not go to his house. I was crossing the gate. And I was crossing the gate and she was in the gallery. That Mayur was 13 years old that time. Moshmi, their daughter, was 11 years old. And then Mitesh, who stays in Altim, Mitesh Gosal is so small, he was 9 years old. They were all playing. And their mother told them, shh, go inside, go inside. They asked, who's this girl? Shh, you all go inside. Then they brought me inside. They asked me who I am. Then I had to tell them who I am. What happened? First I was telling lies that I don't know. I'm come from here. I'm come from. I was getting scared to tell them. Then they take me, put me in the police station, and send me back to my stepmother. I didn't want to go back to her, and she was stamping Mother Mary. All wrong things she was doing. That's why one neighbor after us, they only told me every day has to get beating. Every day there's to beat me up. There's to keep me without food. There's to make me to work. Lot of things there's to do to struggle me. A son also. I was a so small child. Say about I was 14, 15, and a son was very big. He was about 33, 34. He used to make me naked and have sex on me also. He used to interfere with me. When she was not there, she used to go to teach the SSC students or somewhere she used to go. That time he used to interfere with me. He used to beat me up if I did not listen to him. All this nonsense used to go on. Such a small child. That time if I had to go and complain to the police and tell the police that that is her son was doing and she is troubling me this way and not being good to me, lifetime she would have been arrested, should have been behind bars. Mr. Anat Parera, behind bars. So Mr. G, uh, Divijit Chavan, sir, please, this is my story. I'm telling you today, you will learn, you will know the truth, what has happened. Okay, they said many years, then these people cheated me, this Gosala family. I'll get you married, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll fill money in your bank every month. Then when one day, when even if we can't be able to get you a Catholic marriage, whenever you're living and going, we'll give you the bank book, you take and go. All lies. They used to take my sign every month, but what they used to do, their sign on us. This is what they did. And then slowly, slowly, they got their daughter married. Then they got their elder son married. When the daughter was married, I was about 23. When the Moshmi got married, I was 23. When Mayur Gosala got married, I was 25. And when the youngest son, Mitesh Gosala, got married, I was about 26 old or something, 26. They even thought of my marriage. They thought of me staying in the house, working for them, to take care, to do seva of theirs. So much advantage they took of me just because they knew Annette Pereira. Gosale knew Annette Pereira because she was classmate. He told me that she's my classmate. For what granted they've taken me, see this Gosala family. And in the end, when I went with the wedding card, just better बाद में when I went with a wedding card, just 25,000 they hide behind their hand. He hides behind his hand and give. And I told him also I have such a small room. We didn't have rented rooms, nothing at that time. I need money for expenses. That time I was not. I was not. I was okay. I was not. I was okay. I was not sick and all. Okay, so this is my story. Further story I'll tell you later. Friends, take care and please Divijit Sawan sir. Please cross your hands and say sorry to the public that you have mistaken by not by taking by saying you're taking care of us and you're not taking care of us. Okay, take care. The latest story I'll tell you on the other video. Thank you. Have a nice morning.